Opened up on City Board of Adjustment, 1:30. We've got a quorum. Is it not on? Yeah, okay. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Next item on the agenda is to receive the minutes. Anybody look at that, want to make a motion?
Motion to receive the May 7th, 2026 meeting minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Minutes are received. Cindy, you want to call the continuance withdrawal?
So we have item number 21, case number 16545 has been withdrawn. And I have two new requests. Item number 19, case number 16236 is continued till June 18th. And item number 20, case number 16188 is continued to June 18th.
Thank you. I need help with this too. Okay. Ready for a motion?
So moved.
What you just said.
Yeah, what she said. Motion to move case numbers 16236 and 16188 to the June 18th meeting, and motion to withdraw case number 16245.
16545.
One,
Oh, it is 16245.
Something.
Okay.
item 21.
All right.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. Those items are continued. Is there anyone in attendance who needs to ask for a continuance on an item? I don't have a consent docket, so Cindy, if you call the first one, please.
We have item number 1, case number 16254, is a request from the City of Oklahoma City Housing Rehab on behalf of Roberta Lancaster for a variance to minimum lot size and minimum lot width located at 2819 Southwest 31st Street.
Hello, my name is Todd Smith. I'm with the Planning Department, Housing Rehabilitation. We're working with Ms. Lancaster to rehab her home. And in doing so, we're going to be reconstructing her home, which will then invoke these variances that we need for the lot size and the width. So I'm here for any questions you guys have for her.
Any questions from the board? Just a minute. Nobody signed up on this one. Is there anyone who wants to address the board on this application?
So the only thing that I would like to see on this is that it's only going to be for a single family home.
Yeah, it's for a single
And
family.
I know it is, that you're asking for that. I just want it written into the application that it's only for a single family home, not a duplex. 'Cause it's already R2. I just don't want them to
Yeah,
think they
you're
can put a
fine.
duplex on
Well,
that.
that's what we're going back with a similar size house that she currently has,
Yep.
so, in the reconstruction, so.
Okay. Ready for a motion? Any other questions or comments?
Make a motion to approve case number 16254 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested variance with the specific limitation that this will be for a single family home.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Item number 2, case number 16247, is a request of Lucky Investments LLC for a variance to the side yard setback and the distance between accessory dwelling and main building requirements located at 1125 Northwest 40th Street.
Hello?
Hi. Give us your name and address and
Andy
tell us about the
Bertucci.
application.
Yes, sir. Andy Bertucci, 1125 Northwest 40th Street
Okay.
in Oklahoma City. We are applying for a variance to replace the current garage that was the existing garage that was on the west property line. The previous garage also had a storage unit behind it. And before, it was flush with the house, and we are wanting to set that back. So that's an improvement, going 5 feet behind the house. It will, the wall on the property line would not have any windows. It would also have a fire rating of at least 1 hour. And it would remain outside of the utility easement and would be below the height of the primary residence.
No one signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay. Questions, comments?
Just a couple of comments on it.
Yeah.
And this is a question for staff, but what is the standard for the distance between the accessory dwelling or accessory unit and the structure?
It is 5 foot, if I'm not mistaken, and we're sending it back 5 foot.
So that you're not asking for a variance for the distance?
No, I'm asking for the
Just for
garage
the-
to be able to...
just for the
be-
garage?
Yes, on the same property line where it was, yeah. Currently, it was actually flush, so we are actually sending it back.
And it just, in the actual application, it says "and located 5 feet behind the rear wall of the primary structure." I just want to make sure what the
Yes, sir.
zoning,
I
current
think that
zoning
was
is for
because,
that.
they asked me to do that because currently it was flush with the house, and we're sending it back to actual code of 5 feet, yeah.
It's on.
Okay, Sarah Welch, Planning Department. I think the question might be, we have 2 variances listed in the staff report. One is for the side yard setback that used to be flush. The current setback then would be 5 feet. So you're asking for a variance to be able to put it back where it was, is that correct?
Right, I'm asking to be able to put it along the west property line.
Okay,
yes,
and then
5 foot behind the house.
Okay, and I think that was the question that Mr. Noble was asking. There's a different regulation that we listed in the staff report that says that the detached accessory building can't be any closer than 6 feet to any building walls or accessory building walls on the same lot or building site. And that, and I think we were asking, are you closer than 6 feet? Is the house closer?
It's 5 feet.
It's 5 feet, and
yes.
so it's a 1 foot variance request for that.
Currently, it's flush. Currently, it's 0, so we're sending it back 5 feet. I didn't know it was 6. I thought it was
It's,
5.
right. So I think, and it's okay, we just want to make sure if they approve the variances, they're giving you both of
Okay,
them that you need.
thank you, thank you.
And so, that, again, if you could just put it to 6 feet, it would not have to have that variance. And then, because there's not really any reason other than you want it to be 5 foot.
The back utility easement is 10 feet.
Yeah,
so
you
we're
just have to
staying-
make the building 1 foot shorter is what I'm saying.
Right, and while that would possibly work, that would mean that we would probably have to buy different cars. Let's just put it that way. For current modern use, what I have now, I think it's a 44 foot.
Yeah, I mean, 44
thinking
feet
of a
is
tandem.
twice as deep, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
so.
But
I
the
mean,
back part of that is a storage shed, basically, right?
used to be, now I'm proposing a complete new garage.
Is it a tandem garage?
It would be a tandem, yes.
It's a tandem garage.
Yes, and that's the reason for the 44 feet. And the reason for the 44 feet is because I thought I needed to be 5 foot away from the house and all the way to the 10 foot of the utility easement, so that's 44 feet. But if I have to go 43 feet, I understand.
And I don't have a problem as far as with it being on the property line. And your neighbor already wrote a letter
Yes.
saying they're fine with
Yes.
it too.
Yeah.
And as far as the way the property sits and the way the driveway sits, I get that there's a reason for it. There's just not a reason for the between 5 and 6 feet.
I understand. it's a matter of, when you put in the cars, whether, yeah, but I understand completely. And if it's possible, 1 foot, that'd be great.
Where are we going? Are we gonna do 43 feet then?
I mean, that's just where I was going, just because
Yeah.
it's not the minimum.
How many feet is the current garage?
It's flush with the house. So I'm already improving it by sending it back
Right.
5 foot.
But how deep is it right now?
I'm sorry?
How deep is it right now?
The garage and the
existing.
storage currently is 32 feet. And obviously for modern use, that is not practical, so to speak. I have 3 kids, one of them who's already driving, another one coming to drive next year, so there's no really room for any tools or anything like that. And I'm only going up to the utility for allowing that.
And the other thing that I was questioning is the wall height was 14 feet?
The wall height is 14 feet, correct. And I think together with the roof, I think I have a
412.
yeah, so it should be right about 16 something total. It's still below the house in the front.
I'd rather see that at 12 too, actually, if you could, but just for the massing of such a structure right on that property line.
I can move it back 6 feet to 6 foot. Is that what?
Yeah, no, I was talking about the height, wall height, to
Okay.
be 12 foot instead of 14 feet.
Okay.
But again,
I
is it allowed to be 14 feet tall? And it's just, for me,
Sure.
massing right on that
Sure.
property line being 14 feet tall.
I can understand that, absolutely, but I think.
It's basically 6 foot taller than the fence.
The requirement is that it's not taller than the house in the
Existing
front.
house.
Unless
Yeah.
I'm doing a ADU with 2 stories or something like that, which we're not. Yeah. This would allow some attic space and some.
Yeah, I think Don had a question about the height.
I can look it up, but it wasn't identified through the permitting. He's here as a result of a corrections
Right.
report.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just saying that he's wanting a variance to be right on the property line and to be that, I mean, it's 8 foot taller than the fence. It's just,
I don't have so much of a concern on that as I do about the 6 foot spacing. What is the height of the house?
I believe the height of the house is slightly over 17 feet. Yeah. But it's also almost the length of the width of the lot. These older homes only allowed for about an 8 foot drive. So they pretty much take the entire lot, if we're concerned with visibility for a neighbor or for anything else.
Okay, and to answer your question, for a lot this size within the R1 district, the detached accessory building can't exceed the height of the primary structure. The difference or the exception to that would be if the accessory building was constructed of exterior metal finish, and then it has a 10-foot limit.
This will not be a metal building now.
I guess the only question is, we're good with it being on the fence line. Taking the building itself from 43 feet to, or
From
from 44 to 43.
Yeah, then you would only need the one variance.
Right,
Okay.
okay. I can get behind that. Ready for a motion? All right. I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16247 for the purpose that it meets statutory requirements for the requested variance. With the modification that we are going to go ahead and approve the building being on the property line. However, we are no longer needing the variance for the 6 feet because we are going to take that building from 44 feet total in length down to 43.
Yeah, I think you could just approve the first one and disapprove the second, correct, Chris? Okay.
Okay, so that's the only one we're disapproving the 5-foot variance, if that makes sense.
Right, you're approving the variance to section 6100.3, table 6100.2 concerning the side yard setback, but you are not approving the variance to section 12100.2E2 concerning the distance between the detached and main buildings.
Correct.
And I'll just add this as basis for that, just fire safety concerns, because I do believe that's a fire code issue for that 6-foot spacing. So as basis for that denial.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
Approved.
Item number 3, case number 16230, is an application by Sweet Home Properties to allow home sharing located at 2016 Northwest 45th Street.
My name is Bradley Basie. I'm the applicant for the 2016 Northwest 45th Street. I'm requesting a renewal for our special exemption for home sharing.
I don't have anyone signed up to speak on this application. Does anyone want to address the board on this one? Yeah.
Just on the application itself, it's a timely renewal. On timely renewals, we have been granting them 3 years, and you have 2 years on the application.
Okay.
Do you want the 3?
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank you.
Okay. And then the other thing is the number of vehicles. It's not written on the application, but
The number of vehicles is, let me see.
can you use the
It's
garage?
3. Yeah. 3, including the garage.
So 2 in the drive, 1 in the garage.
How about on-street parking?
No on-street parking.
Okay.
It's on them.
All right. Any other questions? We good? I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16230 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 3 years, no on-street parking, and 3-car maximum with 2 being in the driveway, 1 in the garage.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 4, case number 16231, is an application of Bradley Basie on behalf of Home Sweet Home Properties to allow home sharing located at 2028 Northwest 45th Street.
This is the exact same thing except for this house. So, we're requesting a renewal for special exemption for home sharing.
Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay.
So just the same questions on this one. It's a timely renewal.
Yep.
Did you want the 3-year
Yes.
term?
Yes,
And then the others, the number of vehicles, same?
It is the same,
You can
yeah.
use the garage?
Yep.
All right, then I'll make a motion to approve case number 16231 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 3 years, and no on-street parking, and a 3-car maximum, 2 in the drive, 1 in the garage.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 5, case number 16238 is an application by Merrick Nobes on behalf of 3 Geese LLC to allow home sharing located at 6601 Northwest 103rd.
Yes, my name is Mark Dobos. I live in Edmond, and I'm just applying for the 3 years on that house for house sharing.
Okay. Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay.
So just want to go over your application again. It's a 4-bedroom home,
Yes,
right? What we have been doing is the 2 per bedroom plus 1. And so I'd like to reduce the number from 10 to 9 on the maximum number of guests.
okay,
I want to add quiet hours to the application from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
okay,
And if you're good with all that, then the same, it'd be a 3-year renewal. And we already have the number of vehicles.
Are there? Okay, good. All right. I'll make a motion to approve case number 16238 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exception with the following modifications. Number of people is going to be non-maximum quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. and for a term of 3 years.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
yes.
Item number 6, case number 16239 is an application by Merrick and Anna DeBeese to allow home sharing located 3113 Northwest 54th Street.
Pretty much same announcement.
Well, it's just the same thing, the same case. We just would like to have a 3 years, and then if it's 3 plus 1, that will be 7 people.
Let's see this one. I don't have anybody signed up on this one, so does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay. Questions, comments from the board?
So, and did you get the written protest on this?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did, and I prepare answers if you want to hear them. It's just, if you read it very carefully, it's not really what it is on these pictures and reporting us to the home, to the health department and asking for my arrest. This is not really serious, But I can talk about every picture they included or every case, they are trying to make.
Okay, and just so I just want to make sure that you're aware of it, and then, to do what you can and
Yes, we do.
keep the vehicles, where they're supposed to be,
Right.
and then the other thing is, I want to reduce the number of guests, just again, from 8 to 7,
Yes,
with 2 per bedroom plus 1. Add the quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
yes,
And then the term would then be 3 years. And the number of vehicles remain 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway with no on-street parking.
okay.
Is the swimming pool still operable?
What?
Is the pool still operable in this?
Pool is in excellent condition. It's
Okay, I just want to make sure it's still there.
yeah.
Sometimes,
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
not. It's in excellent condition. Totally automated pool. You know, it's spend a lot of money to get it that way.
would you be okay with reducing the quiet hours from 8 PM to 8 AM? And I just do that when there's a swimming pool, and so
Yeah,
I like
we
to
can do that.
to do that.
For sure.
It's just for the neighbors. Good.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, make a motion to approve case number 16239 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. Maximum number of people shall be reduced to 7, quiet hours from 8 PM to 8 AM for a term of 3 years, 4-car maximum, 2 in the driveway, 2 in the garage, and no on-street parking.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Mine says waiting. Everybody else have a pan? I already refreshed it. Ah, there, you're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 7, case number 16249, is an application by Jay Gallagher on behalf of AVH Holdings to allow home sharing located at 1233 Northeast 6th Street, Unit 1.
Hi, my name is Andy Harms. I'm located at 1233 Northwest 6th Street, Unit 1, applying for short-term home sharing application.
And I don't have anybody signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay, anything from the board?
Let's go over the application a little bit. This is an apartment, right?
It is. It's a fourplex.
Okay. So is it the whole building?
We're applying for 1 unit.
Okay. So it says number of rooms being offered 4, maximum number of guests 10.
That's incorrect. We're applying initially for 2 units, but now we're applying for just 1 unit, maximum guests of
Okay.
5 per unit.
How many bedrooms is in that unit?
2 bedrooms.
So it's a 2-bedroom apartment?
2 bedrooms, 2.5 baths.
And so maximum number of guests would be 5?
Yes, sir.
How many parking spots are designated for each structure, or each unit? How many parking spots?
2 per units with additional handicap.
So we'll say 2 vehicles maximum.
That's correct.
They're there, they're listed, 9 PM to 8 AM.
I like that, okay. No on-street parking.
I'm not gonna even, I mean, it's,
Okay. One year.
yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16249 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 1 year, maximum number of people at 5, and a 2-car maximum.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Cast your votes.
Thank you.
You're approved.
Item number 8, case number 16246, is an application by Melissa Atkinson on behalf of McCall and Appleton to allow home sharing at 4817 Northwest 72nd Street.
Hello, my name is Melissa Atkinson. I'm here for a home sharing application for the address of 4817 Northwest 72nd in Oklahoma City.
I don't have anybody signed up on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application?
And to go over the application, there are a couple of protests in it. Did you receive them?
Yes, I did.
And they're very general, so they're not specific to this property. This property was short-term lease prior to this, right?
No, this is a fourplex townhome. The one on the end is mine as well, and this one is. This one has not been previously a
Okay.
home share.
I just knew that this location was
Yes.
one. I just remembered it. But, so this is another one, and that one's not any longer?
That one still is.
Oh, still
Yes,
is.
it's not due for renewal for 3
Okay.
years.
So it's a 2-bedroom,
Yes,
5 people maximum.
yes,
Quiet hours put 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
yes,
The number of vehicles, so 2 can go in the garage?
yes.
And is there another parking spot? I don't remember. Or is it
There's
just
parking
alley?
in front of the garage. That's not really my preference, so I don't advertise that.
Okay, so we'll just go 2
Yes.
in the garage, no on-street.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, ready? Make a motion then to approve case number 16246 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the requested special exceptions with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 1 year, quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m., a 2-car maximum both in the garage, and no on-street parking.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day.
2.
Item number 9, case number 16215, is an application by Libby Ross on behalf of Larry LaBar Revocable Trust to allow home sharing, 2105 Northwest 61st Street.
Good afternoon, Libby Ross for 2105 Northwest 61st Street, seeking a home share permit.
There were some protests in the packet. I do have people signed up to speak on this one. Let's do Frank Hill first. Yours is on top.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Hill, and I live at 2104 Northwest 62nd Street, just immediately north of the subject property. And I share an entire common boundary to my south and to the north of the subject property. I moved there in November, and after lots of consideration of downsizing in a great neighborhood of Belle Isle, which is the part that I'm in right now is Weileman's 7th. And I've only owned 3 houses in my life, 1 in Crown Heights and 2 in Belle Isle. So I have a real affinity for coming to the Board of Adjustment to hear discussions about historic preservation and now for time sharing. I have talked with the applicant and Mr. Larry LaBar, and I think we're very much on the same page on a lot of these issues. And I also did send an email to the Board of Adjustment a little bit late last Friday with my concerns and about the license that's going to be issued. And I don't want to take up a whole lot of time, but I do think that I feel good about a spirit of cooperation with the applicant, and that we're going to be able to work together. I guess a couple of comments that I would want to mention is that the traffic in this area is massive, and I think it's probably become a very urban area in Oklahoma City because of growth. We're on the cusp of actually 63rd and Pennsylvania, just barely south of that intersection. And so, and then we can almost walk to Penn Square and now the Oak. So you have a very vibrant, essentially urban area that needs to be very carefully considered with respect to traffic. And I'm sure you all have traffic counts for this area, and I think we need to be very, very concerned as a city and as a Belle Isle Neighborhood Association about traffic increasing here and utilization of streets for parking around these properties are going to be subject to the license. And, you know, I would urge the applicant to have a very strict rule about special events and parking. And there will be a lot of special events here. It's a great venue, and it's a beautiful home, and it will be very popular. But I would say that there should not be any cars parked except on the property itself, which I'm not sure how many it'll accommodate. But any big events that are held there, or any events, should be off-site, and there's plenty of off-site parking, either over at the Waterford or at the church to the north. Easily have off-site, because it will be if we had on-site parking, it would endanger things like ambulances and other cars getting access to the neighborhood. So I'd say traffic is a big issue. I would hope that, I'm not sure you have a rule on how old you can be to sign sign a lease or an agreement to utilize this property. I would hope you'd be at least 25 years of age, maybe. 18, no. 21, kind of shaky, but maybe 25. A little more judgment. And I would hope we can prohibit 1 or 2 night events that would be, I'm not sure what the rules are here, but I would hope that could be restricted. We also would want a pretty strong, and I hear you all talking about this, the noise restriction and light. There's a lot of light here in this property. It's beautiful, but you know, blinking lights at 4 in the morning are just as disruptive as sound. So if you could take that into consideration, maybe 9 until 8 would probably be okay on noise, with the ability, I guess, to have that enforced by the police department, Oklahoma City Police Department, if it's violated. And I assume you all have also looked at the issue relating to the 10% rule on time sharing, and I'm sure you've looked at that, but there's a lot of activity in this neighborhood. It's very popular, and I have no idea how you determine that, but I'm sure you've looked at that. And so I think the other thing that I am concerned about here in this property, there is a lot of electricity and power lines that are above ground. And so the life safety concerns are real here with the heavy winds and the dry areas and the huge number of trees that have been removed by OG&E and the other utilities. We have an area that is, you know, if we have heavy winds and we have a spark or something, we have some danger. So I would hope we would have some kind of periodic inspection by the city of Oklahoma City and whomever is required to make sure that everything is safe and in good order in the house, and I'm sure the applicant would probably want to do that as well. So it's a wonderful property. I envision a good relationship, but words do matter on these licenses. You can't just say, hey, I trust you, shake hands. You got to have some kind of guidelines that will be positive, and we want to be positive. Oklahoma City is a great place to be. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Questions or comments? Okay. And the next one is Mike, is it Rosen or Roser? Mike, come on up. I'm okay with break discussing. Okay, thank you. And that's all. Is there anybody else who wants to address the board on this application? Okay.
And it sounded like you'd already made contact, or the owner has the information, so
Yes,
they
sir.
have
The
phone
owner,
numbers.
the owner actually reached out on this one.
The only thing I had on the application itself was just to put the number of vehicles and to limit to no on-street parking. If the garage is used, can you use the garage?
Yes.
So 2 in the garage and
2 in driveway.
2 in the drive.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the term, since it's the first time, would be 1 year.
Okay.
You already have the quiet hours from 8 to 8 in the application. It's a 3-bedroom home, maximum number of guests you have at 6.
Has this been rented? Any rental history? Is the owner new?
I'm sorry?
Is the owner for this property, have they just taken over the property here recently?
No, I thought, and actually, you said that, and I think this is a renewal.
It says it's a new application.
Okay.
The only reason I ask is in Mr. Hill's email, I'm glad that it sounds like they mended their relationship, but initially when he was buying the property, that he was having issues with that common fence and that he refused to participate in getting it corrected. So I didn't know if we were dealing with the same person or if it's a different person.
I think the gentleman that said that they had worked everything out is who we're referring to right now, and that they worked everything out.
Okay. All right. Are you satisfied, Mr. Hill, with your relationship and where you stand?
Don't speak from back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get it on the record, please.
Libby, how long have you been managing this?
I don't manage this one,
Oh, okay.
just assisting in the permit.
Yeah, I think my statement was a little bit, it was not correct in its entirety. I did have a lot of trouble with the construction of a retaining wall, which completely, this is an area of town, where we have the huge floods before, and it's very elevated. So this is down from my backyard boom. And so the retaining wall at this property was completely disrepaired and had collapsed, and so it had to be rebuilt. And it turned out that the owner of the property, Mr. Labar, was not really even involved in that. From my perspective, the realtor for my seller was the one who came in and did the work. And so I had to deal with him and because I wasn't going to close without the retaining wall being reconstructed. So it was not Mr. Labar that really did that. It was kind of dealing with the owner and the realtor and getting it done in a more expedited manner. And I think it's good now. But I think, again, the problem with flooding and the huge amount of money that was spent by the city of Oklahoma City to clean up the creek and the canal and all that in Belle Isle Lake has been magnificent, but we have to protect that. So the retaining walls are really important. And that's part of this power issue that I was talking about earlier with all this massive amount of electricity in the Belle Isle area that is, it's a lot of it's new. And so it's all still being utilized. So anyway, that's the clarity on that point.
Okay, appreciate
Thank
it. Nothing else? All right. Then I will make a motion to approve case number 16215 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. There shall be no on-street parking, a 4-car maximum, 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway, and for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 10, case number 16216. It's an application by Libby Ross on behalf of Jacob Brian Krieger and Stephanie Krieger to allow home sharing located at 1441 Northeast 9th Street.
Libby Ross seeking a home share license for 1441 Northeast.
Nobody signed up to speak on this one. Is there anyone who wants to address the board on this application? Okay.
Okay, and just to go over it, this one is a timely renewal.
Yes.
It's a 3-bedroom home, maximum number of guests to be 7, required hours from 8 to 8.
Yes.
So the only thing is, the term would be 3 years as a timely renewal, and then the number of vehicles in the drive.
It's pretty long. It doesn't look like it right here because it's so narrow, but it does fit 2 to 3.
Is the garage used?
Huh?
Can you use the garage?
Not really, not for a full car.
Okay. I'll just say maximum number of vehicles to be 2, and then not put anything for the on-street parking, since it's mid-block on a legal street.
Okay.
Good. All right. I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16216 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. There will be a maximum number of cars at 2 and for a term of 3 years.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
Item number 11, case number 16240. It's an application by Libby Ross on behalf of Jera Burris Chambers and Rayleigh Chambers to allow home sharing located at 1700 Northeast 67th Street.
One more time, Libby Ross, looking for a home share permit for 1700 Northeast 67th Street.
We've got some folks signed up to speak on this one. Is it Braden Heisey? Did I say that right?
That's correct pronunciation, thank you. So good afternoon, my name is Braden Heisey. I live at 1801 Northeast 69th Street. I'm the Vice President of the Persimmon Hill Neighborhood Association, and I'm here on behalf of the board and residents of Persimmon Hill who oppose this application. We submitted an email and a survey result to this board prior to today's hearing. 27 Persimmon Hill residents responded. 67% were unaware that this Airbnb was established. 78% are concerned that the owners do not live there. 82% require, at a minimum, full compliance with all Oklahoma City codes and laws. I want to be direct about what this application actually is. This is not a homeowner renting a spare room or a garage apartment. The application was filed by Libby Ross, founder of Co-Host Oklahoma, a commercial property management firm operating 40-plus short-term rentals across the entire state. The property owners, Jera and Ray Chambers, who I had the pleasure of meeting beforehand, they live in Edmond. They've hired this professional management company to run a commercial, bridal, and event rental in the middle of our neighborhood along this 10-home residential bucolic block. Neither the owners nor their management company live in our neighborhood, have any presence in our neighborhood, or have any personal stake in its well-being. The first two lines of the property description on Airbnb advertise this property as, and I'm quoting directly, "Your fairy tale starts here, entire house plus guest house, perfect for groups and bridal parties." Cole's Garden, one of Oklahoma City's premier wedding venues, is located a couple blocks away on Northeast 63rd. The intent is clear. This property is being positioned as a satellite lodging and party venue for wedding events at Cole's Garden, bringing large celebratory groups of guests into a quiet residential neighborhood repeatedly throughout the entire year. That's not a home share, that's a hotel. Now, I need to speak plainly about our streets because this board has likely never driven upon them. Our streets are long and straight, often enticing drivers to ignore the 25-mile-per-hour posted speed limit. They're also very narrow. The streets are barely wider than a single trash truck. When two cars meet going in opposite directions, they must slow to a crawl in order to pass each other safely. When one of those vehicles is larger, a pickup, an SUV, a van full of wedding guests, one vehicle must pull off the roadway to allow the other to safely pass. This is not hypothetical, this is daily life on our streets. Now imagine multiple vehicles full of wedding guests arriving and departing at all hours, unfamiliar with the roads, potentially at night, potentially after having been celebrating. Under Section J of the ordinance, the board is explicitly authorized to consider street width and traffic hazards as a basis for denial. We ask that you exercise that authority. We also note the Airbnb listing is already accepting reservations beginning tomorrow. That tells you everything about how the applicants regard this process. Should this board approve this application, we respectfully urge that the following 6 points be imposed as board-mandated conditions, not merely the self-imposed rules the applicant may choose to ignore or follow. And I've got copies here for the board. Condition 1, quiet hours from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m., strictly enforced, with no on-street parking at any time given the width of our streets. Condition 2, there are 6 points, maximum of 6 guests. No daytime visitors beyond the registered overnight guests. Condition 3, no more than 10 nights of rental per calendar month, which is, I think, Oklahoma City's ordinance. Condition 4, no events, gatherings, or parties beyond the registered overnight guests. Condition 5, noise monitoring equipment is requested to be installed on this property. Condition 6, a 1-year term only with mandatory notification to this neighborhood association before any renewal hearing. In closing, the residents of Persimmon Hill chose to live in a quiet, bucolic neighborhood without an objectionable commercial party venue in our midst. We ask that this board preserve our way of life by denying the application. In recent years, we've had other entities intrude upon our neighborhood and try to establish commercial enterprises, to include industrial ones. And again, we ask the board to preserve our R1 zoning by not allowing any commercial enterprise into our neighborhood. Thank you for your time. Are there any questions?
Questions, comments from the board? Okay.
If I may give this to the clerk.
Sure. Thank you. All right. Next one is Ann Young.
Hello, my name is Ann Young, and I live in the Persimmon Hill neighborhood. I'm also a member of the Persimmon Hill Neighborhood Association Board. A bit of background. My grandparents bought the house I live in 1946. My parents bought that house from them in 1961. I grew up there. I went to Millwood schools, and when my parents died, I bought my brother out, and it is now my home. So I have very deep, long investment in this neighborhood, just for some context. I knew Ruth Males, the woman who owned this home, the one we're talking about today, for more than 40 years. She was a very highly motivated and energetic advocate for social justice. She was an asset to the neighborhood. She was an asset to Oklahoma City, and she is sorely missed. She died at an old age in her 90s, and this house then was sold for this commercial purpose. Ruth Males would be appalled that her home was going to become a commercial establishment in the middle of this neighborhood that she loves so much. I am personally insulted by the fact that the owners have chosen to market this commercial property as Ruth's Cottage, presumably after Ruth Males. And this is positively Orwellian. And by that, I mean Ruth's Cottage is exactly the opposite from the commercial property that it has become. And Ruth would be very opposed to this. That's all I have to say, other than I hope that you will deny this application. Thank you.
Anything from the board? Okay, thank you. Pam Suttles?
I'm Pam Suttles, and my address is 1727 Northeast 69th. And I just have a couple of questions. I'm not familiar with this process. If the application is approved, how are the rules enforced, such as the quiet hours, the parking, the number of guests? Who would we contact if things are violated? I don't understand the process.
You can call the Action Center, call the police, and I've got some app on my phone that I was able to figure out so I can send in complaints from my telephone.
Through the action line?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm not technologically savvy, but I've got an app.
Okay, well, I do agree with everything that the previous speakers have said, and I'll also object to it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Alan and Diane Loy. Okay. That's all that's signed up. Is there anyone who wants to address the board on this application? Okay. Questions, comments from the board? Your turn, Libby, apparently.
First, let's just go through the application a little bit. You're asking for, it's a 3-bedroom home. You're asking for 6 guests maximum.
Yes.
Your quiet hours are already from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Yes, sir.
So let's look at the number of vehicles that we can have on property, safely parked.
I don't know what we put on there, but the owners took the time to actually put in nice parking in there with parking bumpers so that nobody is driving into the roads. They can pull back into the carport. There's even, it doesn't show it in this photo because it was before, but now the homeowners even had someone come out and mark the gate so that they know how far they actually have to move up into the gate. It's been designed really well and very well thought out on that. So, I mean, we could easily put in 6 cars in there and still shut the gate just fine.
And then the other thing would be, the term would be 1 year, as this is a new application.
Absolutely.
And I am in agreement that you could put 6 cars behind that gate. I drove by there. It's cleaned up. It's all new concrete. And just to go over the protest and the conditions in the protest, did you get a copy of that?
I did.
So you meet the first 3 already between the ordinance and in the application. The no events, no gatherings, no parties will, the maximum number of guests you can have is 6. So the maximum number of people can be on the property while you're short-term leasing it is 6.
Overnight?
At all.
At all?
Actually, it's,
Okay.
yeah, 24/7. Then the other thing is, as a noise monitoring device, would they be applicable to installing a noise monitoring?
I think we could look at it. I mean, I'd like to see if it's a problem first, just because it is a rather big expense for something new. I mean,
Right.
I would like to point out too, I am not a commercial business. I'm very small, owner-based. Guys see me here all the time. You might see Misty, but everybody here is boots on ground. We don't do anything virtually. We don't have anything offshore for our VAs. They're local. So we are very local based. My husband's a part of it. My daughter's a part of it. So my cortisol level is very high because we do have quite a few houses, but we are very, very well involved. And the owners, I do believe, are going to be highly involved in this project too. I was actually approached by another neighbor named Charlie, who called me first, knew me through the real estate world, stuff like that, got a hold of me and asked if he could introduce me to Jara because he wanted to know that the place was going to be ran right. So it was actually a referral from another neighbor that landed me in the co-hosting position here. And then the idea is that Cole's Garden and the Hall of Fame, those are the event centers, but we are a great place for a bride to gather with a few girls and her mom and her grandma while she does her hair and makeup.
The other thing, I guess it is already advertised on the platform or a platform to start maybe
Absolutely.
tomorrow. Before you do any short-term leases, have the license, have the board order from here, which is, there's a 10-day grace period also.
Okay.
So just know that.
Is there any rental history showing up for this property?
I don't show any on our Rentalscape software.
All right.
Good. I don't know if that microphone's working, but come on up here and,
I'd like to say our previous history, we owned an Airbnb.
oh, give us your name and address,
Oh,
and just for
Ray
the record.
Chambers, owner. We owned a previous Airbnb on, 1600 34th Street, Northwest 34th. We were all 5 stars for the most part, and then no police incidents or calls for that entire period. We know how to control our Airbnb. I just wanted to make that clear.
So I really don't have anything else. Obviously, there's a large number of eyes on the property, so, do your diligence and you'll be back here in 1 year.
Absolutely.
I would possibly consider just amending your posting to address the narrow roads and just make people aware, at least mindful of the fact that you can't,
Definitely
it's
just put,
two-way, right?
No on-street parking, so
Right.
that'll help. And it's a City of Oklahoma City street with a,
Yeah. All right, I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16240.
Go ahead, come on back.
Sorry, Braden Heisey again. I just contacted our neighborhood president, who is actually out ill. He fell ill last night, so he's not here today. We don't know if a Charlie that she's referring to is a nearby neighbor, for one. The other thing is, should this approval go through, how, I don't know if you're obligating her to notify us, but I don't know how we would otherwise be notified that the application is
it will be re-notified out through public.
mailing, typical mailing?
Yeah. Yep, and that's
All right, thank you.
all we can do.
Okay, your turn.
Try again? All right. Motion to approve case number 16240 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for a special exception with the following modifications. There will be no on-street parking, maximum number of cars at 6, all behind the gate, and this is for a term of 1 year.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Item number 12, case number 16237. It's an application by Brady Salcido and Christy Salcido to allow home sharing located at 2319 Northwest 16th Street.
Hi, my name is Brady Salcido with 2319 Northwest 16th Street, and this is our third renewal on this property for special exemption.
Okay, no one signed up to speak on this application. Does anyone want to address the board on this one? Okay, anything from the board?
And just going over your application, it's a 3-bedroom home?
4.
Well, it's 3 plus an office, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
I'd like to amend your quiet hours to put an end time, so 9 PM to 8 AM.
Oh, yeah, I think we updated after the last one, but I need to update on the application.
And the number of vehicles, you can put 4 cars in here,
Yeah, that's the max, yeah.
no on-street parking.
No.
So the only thing that I'm gonna refer to you again is the maximum number. It's been 8 for,
Does the office have a closet in it?
Yes. Yeah, there's max 2 for each room. We don't do any more than 8.
So the office itself also has a regular bed or a pull-out bed?
It's a regular bed.
Regular, okay.
Yeah.
Number of years? Is it 3? 3 max? Did you say 9 PM to 8 AM or 8 to 8? 9
yeah,
to 8?
9 to 8.
Okay. Anything else?
Just the number of guests, if it's not registered with the city or listed with the city as a 4-bedroom, I'll be at 7. I can do 2 per bedroom and then the +1.
7 occupants?
Yes, sir.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't really get.
If you're
we don't
good
really
with
get
it,
eight mostly.
that's great.
Yeah.
It'll be the easiest way.
Yeah.
It's usually like a kid's room, so usually like most of the kids there, so 7's fine.
You go with that? Oh.
I was just checking to see what that said.
Is there only one bathroom in there?
No, it's 2 fulls.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now I'll make a motion to approve case number 16237 for the purpose that it meets the requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 3 years, maximum number of people at 7, quiet hours from 9 PM to 8 AM, 4-car maximum with no on-street parking.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you, everyone.
Item number 13, case number 16241, is an application by William Burleson on behalf of Chance Worthington and Lorraine Worthington to allow home sharing located at 508 Northwest 183rd Street.
Good afternoon. I'm William Burleson, seeking a renewal of our special exception for 508 Northwest 183rd for Chance and Lorraine Worthington. So I am asking for 3 years for the renewal, please.
No one signed up to speak on this one. Does anyone want to address the board on this application? Okay.
So just to go over the application, it's a 3-bedroom home.
Yes, sir.
You have the quiet hours from 9 PM to 8 AM. So a 5-car maximum, 3 in the garage and 2 in the drive? Is that correct? You can use the garage?
Oh, we could use the garage. Are you, is there a maximum for the driveway that you want?
Yeah, just you have 5.
Right, yeah, so if there is 5, there would have to be 2 in the garage for sure. But you could have 3 in the driveway? Oh, I'm sorry, yeah. I don't have the picture in front of me. I can't
That's just
remember
what it's
it was.
showing, that's okay.
Well, you could fit 3 in the driveway.
Also,
But
yeah.
that's up to you guys.
So the only thing again on this one is the number of guests, if we could reduce the maximum to 7.
Yeah. What was it?
8.
Oh, I put 8? Okay, yeah, 7's good. Sorry.
In a 3-year term?
Yeah.
And can you clarify for me on the parking? You don't want 3 cars in the driveway?
Can you fit 3? There's a picture up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably put one in front of that door on the radius. I'm gonna put no on-street parking, so
Yeah.
I'll go,
Yeah, we have that for all ours.
just put a maximum number of 5, 2 in the garage and 3 in the drive.
Okay.
5?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ready? I'll make a motion to approve case number 16241 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exception with the following modifications. Maximum number of people shall be 7. This is for a term of 3 years. 5-car maximum with 2 in the garage, 3 in the driveway.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
And did you get those protests that were written?
I did, yes.
Thought so. Just making sure.
Cast your votes. You're approved.
Item number 14, case number 16242. It's an application for special exception by William Burleson on behalf of Kelly Fasterling to allow home sharing located at 3405 Northwest 159th Terrace.
William Burleson, requesting a special exception renewal of 3 years for 3405 Northwest 159th Terrace, on behalf of Kelly Fasterling. It's 3-bed, so we'll ask for 7.
No one signed up to speak on this application. Does anyone want to address the board on this one?
So I'll just go over the application again. So maximum number of guests would be 7. And I'm gonna add the quiet hours from 9 PM to 8 AM. And the number of vehicles to be 4, 2 in the garage, 2 in the drive.
Okay, so, yeah, I know we're gonna get into this a little later, but, so there's no, you don't want 4 cars in the driveway?
No, and I'll say that, just the way the sidewalk goes across, there's no way to put 4 cars without blocking the sidewalk.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. Has that always been the case in the past?
Since I've been doing this, so.
So when you say 4 cars max on the special exception, it doesn't give any,
Yeah, that's why I detailed it for you there.
for today?
2 in the garage.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'd say probably the number 1 complaint is people parking all over and in the street, and so
Yeah.
trying to limit that is the best practice for
I
the neighbors.
understand.
Right? Make a motion to approve case number 16242 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. Maximum number of people shall be 7 for a term of 3 years, 4-car maximum with 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway, quiet hours from 9 PM to 8 AM.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. You're approved.
Item number 15, case number 16243, is an application for special exception by William Burleson on behalf of Mecca Management LLC to allow home sharing at 4308 Northwest 158th Street.
William Burleson requesting renewal for the special exception for 4308 Northwest 158th, asking for 3 years on behalf of Mecca Management.
We've got one signed up on this one. Jeff?
Okay.
Can I address a couple things before they come up, or would you rather me wait?
You can.
Right. So there's one official city protest, and that was with the exception of 4 cars in the driveway. As I said earlier, the special exception just states 4 cars max. On our rules, it says 4 cars, please use garage and driveway for all parking. Nowhere did we put, it had to be 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway. I think that this picture didn't do me any favors when I numbered it. But it was simply, because I come here to ask you for 4 cars. It was a visual effects to show 4 can be there. I'm the only one who does this and won't do it anymore. I mean, I'm just gonna take a picture of the house. But it wasn't to mean like we are always gonna park 2 cars in the garage. But I understand things have changed, and I'm totally good with making that part of our rules from now on. But concerning the protest from last year, that wasn't on the exception. That wasn't in our rules. So I don't think that applies. Sorry. There were a couple times of overnight parking, which I apologize for. Those are against our rules that we give to the guests. Last year we had some neighbors come who were very upset at the application, but you guys still gave it to us because, there was no reason not to, but you did ask me to exchange numbers with them, and I did that. And on 3 different occasions, was given text messages about bars in the street. One of those was overnight parking. I immediately went to the guest, or had my team go to the guest and say, hey, there's no parking on the street, you gotta move. Unfortunately, he was slow, so it was still there the next day. So we reached out again the next day, and then he moved it. Again, I apologize for that, but I would like to think that we did everything in our power to correct that. We didn't sit on it, we didn't wait on it, we immediately moved and acted. A second time was when a family was moving in. They initially booked for about a year, and they brought a U-Haul to move in their family. It was in the street. I got a text message. I said that they would move it as quickly as they could. They were moving in, or their company was actually moving them, so they couldn't even move the truck at that point. Nonetheless, I'm glad I got a text message. We take this seriously. Reached out to them saying, hey, there's 0 on-street parking. Like, this has got to move. I think it moved later that next day. Then there's one instance of a trailer in the street. It did not stay overnight, but it was there during the day. Those are the 3 instances where I was notified personally on my phone. I know there are some other things that were brought up. I was not notified about those. I would have loved to have been. I know there's some trash, a couple trash things that they were upset about. It takes me 5 minutes to get over there and fix that if I needed to. I don't know why I wasn't notified, but we want to be we are good property managers. We want to be good neighbors, which is why I shared my number, and definitely willing to make it work for all parties.
Thanks.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
Good afternoon. My name is Jeff Klein, and I live at 15901 Dahlia Road. That is directly across the street from the property at issue here. I reside there with my wife and our 2 young daughters. I appeared before this board last year to oppose the original application, and I'm here today to respectfully oppose the renewal of the special exemption. I would first note one procedural matter, though. The order that was issued last year by this board stated that there were no protesters who appeared at the hearing. Well, that's incorrect. I did appear. I personally appeared and spoke in opposition, and there were multiple other protesters who appeared too. So I would respectfully request that this board correct that error and ensure that the record in today's proceeding accurately reflects the participation of protesters. Now, turning to the merits of the case is really very simple. Last year, the board granted a one-year special exemption. In doing so, the board stated it would give the applicant an opportunity to demonstrate that this short-term rental would operate without negatively impacting the surrounding neighbors and comply with the conditions imposed by the board. Over the past year, that did not happen. The written protest I submitted is 17 pages long and contains numerous photographs and screenshots and communications documenting repeated violations of the board's conditions and ongoing nuisance issues affecting neighboring properties. Though I'm disappointed that you guys only were provided a black and white copy of my protest, I do have a full version that's a color copy that includes much more detailed pictures of the violations that occurred over this last year. The violations that I showed include repeated overnight street parking, despite an explicit condition prohibiting overnight street parking. Vehicles parked outside the approved parking configuration represented to this board. Their initial application did give an exact showing of where those cars would park. Recurring instances where multiple vehicles blocked the public sidewalk. Failures to properly manage trash and comply with city trash requirements. Parties and drug use. Excessive noise disturbances created by guests staying at the property. I'm not asking this board to deny this application because of a single incident. Any homeowner can have an occasional problem. The issue is the pattern. These violations began immediately after approval and continued throughout the year. Time and again, I had to contact Mr. Burleson to report problems that should have been prevented or corrected without intervention from neighboring residents. Eventually, I stopped contacting him, not because the violation stopped, but because it's not my job to tell him to do his job. The burden of monitoring compliance should not fall on the unpaid neighbors. It should fall on the person being compensated to manage the property and operate this business. The evidence demonstrates either an inability or an unwillingness to ensure compliance with the board's conditions, city ordinances, state law, and the HOA neighborhood covenants. I would also remind the board that many of the concerns I raised during last year's hearing have unfortunately become reality. I warned of parking problems, noise disturbances, and trash-related issues. Each of those concerns materialized over the one-year trial period. This is also the same applicant, I'll remind you, who had the property already listed on Airbnb before granting the approval last year. I pointed that out last year to you guys too. And I'm not alone in my protest. 9 other families in this neighborhood submitted written protests. In fact, I made a map showing where all of those people live. It is surrounding that home. We all have concerns with this home. Some of them are generalized concerns. Some of them are very deeply concerning issues. One compelling protest that was submitted Sunday evening, and I don't know if you all have it because it wasn't in the board pack, it was submitted by Chris and Katie Whitson, who live directly next door to this property. I do have a copy of it if it's needed, but it was sent and provided. Wonderful. Their protest confirms the same issues that I raise, but it also speaks about marijuana use emanating from the property. They share a property line and can smell marijuana use in their backyard. They have young kids. That's problematic. They had to deal with the trash blowing into their property because of the failure to keep trash properly disposed of. Other protesters, including Adrian Leonard, who lives 2 doors down in the other direction, has seen the same violations. My family chose the Lone Oak North neighborhood because it's a quiet, family-oriented neighborhood. This property is a short-term rental operating in the neighborhood, and over the past year has repeatedly demonstrated why this use is not compatible with the character of the area. The board's responsibility is to ensure that special exemption protects surrounding properties and remain in harmony with the purpose of the intent of the zoning regulations. The overwhelming evidence before you shows that this business venture has not met that standard. While the board could renew that special exemption and impose the same prior conditions or even new conditions, the evidence shows that doing so will not protect the surrounding area. They will continue to violate your conditions. Last year, the board gave this property a chance. The one-year experiment has now been completed. The record demonstrates repeated non-compliance, recurring issues, and inadequate oversight by the property manager. I'll add one more thing, and that is 2 pictures that I took. One was from last night. At 11:06 p.m., there are 2 cars in the driveway and 2 cars in the street. This is not in my protest. This is literally something I took last night. And then the next one is a screenshot of my camera system that conveniently does cover the property. I've had that camera there for several years. And it shows that those same cars are parked in the exact same spot the next morning at 7 o'clock. They do not care to follow the procedures and the conditions set by this board. So there's ample reason today for this board to deny the renewal and to not give them another chance. We do not need this in our neighborhood. They've shown that they can't do it. Deny the request today. Thank you.
Anything from the board?
And may I give a copy of this to the secretary for inclusion? Certainly.
Come on up, give us your name and address and.
All right, good afternoon. My name is Sterling Bash. I am a resident at 15909 Dahlia Road, pretty close to where his address is. I did submit an email of protest for this. In that protest, I did provide 5 reasons for why I am in opposition of the renewal of this short-term exception. The first reason that I provided was the negative influence of short-term rental clientele in the area. If you go to Airbnb's website, one thing that you will notice is that it is not a requirement to run a background check on individuals who are leasing that area. We have a neighborhood with a lot of children in it, people raising families, so there's no verification that the people who are going to be there are good people. These people could have criminal records, these people could be registered sex offenders. That provides a lot of safety risks for the residents in that location. Reason number 2 is willful violations of the conditions, covenants, and restrictions for the HOA. I did provide a copy of the HOA covenants and restrictions. My neighbor over there has also provided, I think, several screenshots of violations, such as parking on the street. I've also provided a screenshot of them parking on the street. Reason number 3, I don't like the idea of a corporation or an LLC going and invading our neighborhood and profiteering off of the community that we've created. They've shown, number 4, a lack of enforcement of a lack of respect for the existing rules, such as willful violations of the HOA. Currently, they still have their Airbnb website up, and they're showing a 7-day short-term booking for the month of June. I believe that would be in violation since they currently do not have the short-term rental exception. And for those reasons, I think that the board should deny this request and this motion for the betterment of our community. Thank you.
Okay, no one else has signed up. Is there anyone else who wants to make a comment on this application? Anything from the board? You can come on back up.
Is there anything specific you guys want me to address from that?
Let me just start with, I appreciate the protestants and all that they did to document the information and the infractions that were on this property during the last year. And so I'll just tell you, for me, I'm going to vote against this application today.
Right. They documented 3 violations that were actually documented. I mean, they talked about parties and marijuana. Like, I never heard about that. Was there a police report filed? Did they file it with the city? The 2 cars in the street that you just showed today, I mean, how do I know those are tenants' cars? I don't know that. If you would have asked me, I could have asked them. So, I mean, I think they're putting a lot out there, It's really just a few violations, which again is disappointing. Those are against our rules as well. One being a U-Haul. I mean, I was hoping for a little grace during that time. You know, we've all moved. It stinks. It takes a long time. But still, ask them to move immediately because that's the rules. One trailer in the street that wasn't even parked overnight. I'm not sure the exact situation, but we told them to move it and they moved it. It was not parked overnight. And I mean, it's against our rules as well to not bring trailers. So, I mean, it's, you know, we're not happy with that as well. We'll continue to have stronger communication with our guests and enhanced instructions so this stuff does not happen again. If you would approve it, you know, we can also clarify where the guests can park this year. We have 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway. I think that will help a lot of their complaints. But I'm sorry, but I just disagree that they brought a lot to the table. There was one protest in the city portal, but that's not valid because we were allowed to have 4 cars parked on the property.
The only question I have is on the photos that have been submitted. It looks like in the text message exchange that you relayed or conveyed to the neighbors that the U-Haul incident was from a tenant who was a long-term tenant.
Mm-hmm.
What is the case for the vehicles? It looks like some work trucks. Were those long-term tenants or were those short-term?
No, those were short-term. The U-Haul was long-term. There was one instance where I was not notified. This was recently. This was the one that went to the portal. I think there was 4 in the driveway. There's actually 1 extra car in the street. But again, I can't verify if that's our car or not. Anyway, that's a long-term tenant. There's been a long-term tenant in there since early March.
So, speaking for myself, I tend to agree with you that if it's a long-term tenant, it's outside of our purview. If they park in the street, they enjoy all of the abilities and preferences that the neighbors that live there have access to.
I'm sorry, I will interject because it is against their covenant to park in the street. And I know that as well. And so in our instructions, in our rules for them, it says strictly no street parking.
I understand that, and I saw that listed in your response back to them. But again, it's outside of our purview. We don't enforce HOA rules or regulations. Right. So completely as it is in regard to a long-term tenant, that wouldn't be the purview of this body. That being said, I am concerned about the short-term renters that seemingly continue to park in the street. And I agree with Mr. Klein. It's not his responsibility to police your short-term rental. And I completely understand and get your sentiment of, you know, how would you know or how were you supposed to know? But the neighbors know, and only some of it they know as a result of actually seeing it. The rest they know because they have cameras. So presumably if you had cameras on the property, you would know just as well as they do that this is a recurring issue that continues to come up. For that reason, I'm going to be against the application.
What if we added cameras?
Well, I think that would have helped, but I think that would have been something that I would have liked to see in a response to your neighbor. Ultimately, and again, I can only speak for myself, I 100% know that you cannot control the actions of another human being. Right. That being said, we expect you to manage the property, and so if we can see that there's an issue, somebody's done something they weren't supposed to do, my opinion is that it has to go further than just sending a message saying, reminding somebody of the rules. And in each one of these text message exchanges that are well documented, it looks like that's all that happened. Even when they came back and showed you the second time in just one instance, hey, this vehicle's still here, your response was that you would just notify them again. And I think that's placing the burden on the residents rather than taking responsibility. Now, I can't tell you how to run your business, whether you feel like taking responsibility is you going to the property and personally having a good conversation with the tenant or you removing them from the short-term rental. At a certain point, it has to be more than just you can't park here because it doesn't do anything to solve the long-term problem.
Gotcha. So, okay. Gotcha. Well, never mind, I'll let you continue, then I'll probably have some questions after the vote.
And I'll just, again, just say, there's 4 standards that we have to meet on these, and I just can't see meeting all 4 of
Which are?
those standards. And the 2 that are the adverse effect on the use of the neighboring properties, and then the other one is can't generate pedestrian and vehicular traffic that is hazardous to the conflict and in conflict with the existing and anticipated traffic.
Any other questions or comments?
The only other thing that I would add is I would just let the residents know that, again, I just reiterate that we don't have control over long-term tenants. From my understanding, you have a long-term tenant in the property right now. So should this application, regardless of what happens today, if this application gets denied, or if it gets approved or gets denied and comes back again, I would encourage you to work with Mr. Burleson, simply because there are more restrictions with the short-term rental. You can control those cars parking in the driveway, not blocking the sidewalk, in my opinion, to a better degree than you can if it's just a long-term tenant. So it's a two-edged sword, so to speak.
Yeah. On those issues that are not in control with the short-term lease, the neighborhood has its own CCNRs, and you have to take that up with them as an HOA.
So I don't know if I should ask this now or later. If this gets denied, what are the requirements? What do you want to see before we come back, and how long does that have to be?
So denial, there's a 6-month period before you can reapply. And for me, I mean, for reapplication, I just want to see more things that you could do. Like I said, cameras would be great, maybe noise monitoring, and
I mean,
that's really,
cameras for sure, but the noise monitoring, when it has never been recorded as
I mean, they
having
just
one
some of
party
the
over
some of
there?
the protesters mentioned parties and stuff.
I know. They can mention
that's it.
anything.
And this is true.
Okay. So 6 months with midterm renters. We'll add cameras. They can park 4 in the driveway.
Yep. And just, I mean, understand, there's obviously a lot of eyes on this property.
But it's not.
Just talk to us.
Address the board, both of you, please.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's state law.
Just talk to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll put up cameras, and we'll be back in 6 months, but, you know, unless
In
there's
6
any-
months, you're basically just starting over. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I just don't want to come back in here and get denied when we haven't been under jurisdiction for 6 months. But we have added cameras to make sure the parking is well taken care of. Because that's the biggest issue, is the parking. That's the only real issue that was brought up. And the trash, thank you. One instance of trash.
Ready for a motion? Any other questions, comments?
I guess I'm still trying to figure out where I'm at. I'll be honest, I've seen worse renewal applications than this one. But with that said, part of what we always look at is the management of the properties themselves. So I can understand to other board members and their sentiment of denying based off of the way that the property has been managed up to this point. And part of it is the way that we respond to it. To me, I think clarifying the parking, installing cameras, I think that if you get denied and you want to come back in 6 months, I would definitely, you need to show us what you plan to do different than what has been done over the past year. But I'm not sure I would deny this one with the concessions of cameras being installed prior to listing the property, and then the clarification on the parking.
Yeah, we have, again, midterm renter in there right now. We could get cameras by the time they're gone. We can clarify the parking now, 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway. I think all of your concerns are now met at that point, and we wouldn't have to deny it.
What's the rental history on this?
When is that midterm renter?
End of the month, so we've got 10 days.
I think another thing that needs to be remembered is that this is called a special exception for a reason, okay? And it is a balancing of homeowners in the area and the opportunity for people to explore and provide short-term, housing for people. And the neighbors here and the residents here have taken off their jobs and have taken the time to document what the issues are in the neighborhood. So this is, whereas you have the opportunity to provide a medium-term or long-term lease and may have different responsibilities and rules and restrictions, under this special exception, there's a difference, and it's a difference for a reason. So I just wanted to underscore that. Thank you.
One of the things I want you to be mindful of is that you're managing, you're here on 4 properties. And if over time we start determining that the root cause could be you and the way that you manage the properties, you're putting all of these properties at risk. So I want to be mindful that we've denied applications before and told people you cannot have this specific person managing your property. So I think it definitely for you, the question was brought up, or at least questioned as to how the response time was or things were responded to. I definitely think being more proactive in the way that you respond to things. You've got 2 properties already accepted prior to this one. Had this one gone first, I think that I would have asked some other questions on the other 2, but.
Yeah, I'm just, I do permits and I do accounting. We've got a team of 15, have 100+ homes everywhere. I think we have, 12 to 15 permits here, more in the queue coming up. So when I was here doing the permit, you asked me to give him my number, I did. You texted me, I immediately give it to the people who handle that. So I could just offer him the number, it'd probably be best, of our 24/7 line that's always monitored, and they can get right to it. But, yeah.
You'd asked about the rental.
But each property is an individual property. And the surrounding neighbors are always different. And
Yeah.
they don't want a short-term lease in their
Absolutely.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
And so.
But it's just not-
The burden is on you.
It's not in their covenants is the thing,
Right.
Yeah.
Again, that's why they documented everything they documented, and that's what it takes for me. It's the documented pictures, the video.
Yeah.
And if you do your diligence and they're doing their diligence, that's the reason why I stand where I stand. Sarah, what do you have?
Sarah Welch, Planning Department. So just based off our Rentalscape software, it's pretty solidly rented, and it looks like they're mostly in week or more increments according to Rentalscape, but it's, 140 some nights in the last year.
So just give me May. How many nights in May is this property blocked out
This May,
right now, this month?
the whole month. Maybe
But
not
4 different times, or just solid block, or what?
just one. Oh, I have it right here. I know it's different than what you're showing, but it's, I'm sorry, March 30th through May 29th.
Yeah, this one's that midterm renter for this.
Yeah,
month.
that's why I was
Yeah.
checking.
The month of May I show booked maybe all but one night, and the detail we have is coming from this Rentalscape software, and it doesn't tell me solidly how many different rentals there are, but I can see they're booked maybe two different instances, meaning they're longer rentals. It's
What
not
day? What day's not blocked out?
the 15th of May.
I don't know what that is. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking at
We
that. I
just-
can only report what this is showing me. I want to make sure the applicant knows. So just to be clear, so everybody knows about like the application and if it's denied and the fee and everything. You are a timely renewal, so that's a reduced fee. So if it's denied, you'll be starting over. You will no longer be a timely renewal. It'll be a fresh application with a new fee. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that that would be the path. If you were denied and to reapply later, the fee is higher as a new application.
yeah, that's why, yeah, that's disappointing.
If you don't want to do it, I'll do it.
I'm not. I think that we've had worse renewals. I don't think that this is the worst. I think that it can be corrected personally. So with that in mind, I'm not willing to make a motion to deny the application.
I will.
Yeah, I'll let you do.
Okay, and we'll see what the numbers are. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to deny case number 16243.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to deny. Cast your votes. You're denied.
Okay, thank you. See you in 6 months.
Item number 16, case number 16244, is an application by William Burleson of A Real Home Away to allow home sharing located at
Got one more.
15905 Sky Run Drive.
Find out if you'd like me to. It'd be extra nice of me to do.
If you can find him, fine. If not, let's continue it.
Just
Yeah,
move.
okay, let's move 16 to the end.
Item number 17, case number 16250, is an application of Amy Liu of I Premier Homes LLC on behalf of Cynthia Wilson to allow home sharing at 8213 Curtis Terrace.
Good afternoon, finally nice to be up here now.
Give us your name and address.
My name is Amy Liu. The property is 8213 Curtis Terrace, seeking a renewal.
All right. I don't have anybody signed up on this one. There are not a lot of choices.
Let's go over the application a little bit. It's
Sure.
a three-bedroom home.
Yes,
You're asking for a maximum of 6 guests. Quiet hours okay to be 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
correct.
Number of vehicles, but can you use the garage?
Can use the garage, so it could be 4 totally.
Okay. Maximum 4, 2 in the garage, 2 in the drive. It's a timely renewal, so you can get up to 3 years. There is a note that says the maximum number of occupants is 8 for the house.
I put 6 on the application.
Right, in the application it says that. I just want to strike that part. The maximum number of guests would be 6.
Correct.
On-street parking or no?
No on-street parking.
No on-street parking. All right. All right, I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16250 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 3 years, maximum number of guests at 6, 4-car maximum, 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway, and no on-street parking.
I'll second.
Do we have a motion and a second? Cast your votes. You're approved.
Thank you.
I'll go to number 18.
Yes, please.
Number 18, case number 16253 is an application by Makula Labe of Labe Family Revocable Trust to allow home sharing at 4907 North Vermont Avenue.
Good afternoon, it's Michaela Labe, sorry. And the address, like she said, is 4907 North Vermont, Oklahoma City, over in Putnam North area, or Putnam City Original. It is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house with a 2-car garage. You can park in the garage as well as in the driveway, and on-street parking is authorized. Only 3 occupants will be authorized in the house. It's for traveling nurses, so they will be staying there for roughly about 3 months, so that will be the rotation. Nurses or medical staff personnel.
Are you only going to rent it out for 3 months at a time?
That's all they are on contract for. If they're on contract a little bit longer, it might be 6 months.
You just bring that up because if you don't need 30 days, you don't need this.
Oh, okay.
Or less than 30 days.
Yeah, they're going to be for 30. I asked, and they told me that I needed to have this since it is not my primary home.
So do you understand what we're saying? If you lease this for less than 30 days, you need a special exception. If you lease it for more than 30 days and always more than 30 days, you do not need this.
Okay. I was told differently.
Are you leasing to a corporation or an entity that is rotating nurses through?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, let's look at the tenants, not the actual guests, I mean, not the tenant. But I may need some help on this.
That's a new one, so yeah.
Because if you rent it for 3 months, you don't need a special exception. But if you rent it for 3 months and they run nurses through 12 times for 1 week, I call that a short-term rental. But I don't ever remember hearing this.
I don't either.
I think you'd be better off
I don't
having
need
it
this
than
till I get
not,
my-
so-
We would advocate for that for you. So do you ever have anyone who stays less than 30 days
No.
at a time?
They will always 3 months or more.
Do they sign their own leases, or does a company do it on their behalf?
No, they signed their lease with me.
Who? The individuals?
The individuals,
And it's always longer than 3 months?
yes.
And do you ever advertise on the Airbnb platform or Vrbo?
No, it will not be on Airbnb or Vrbo. It will be directly with a nursing. So I can reach out, they'll provide the nurse or the medical personnel to me, provide their name. I will do either they will provide me with a background check and credit history, or I will do it myself, one or the other.
Based off
But because
of,
it said that this wasn't my primary home, that I had to come here and do this, because I live somewhere else.
you may have been misinformed.
Or they might not understand
Right.
the situation. Sorry.
So my question is, if she doesn't need a short term and she was informed that way,
I'm
So
inclined to vote.
we will look into this, but we think what happened is, did you apply for a license for home sharing?
Yes.
And so when she applied for a license for home sharing, but she wasn't the primary, she sent them to us and we said special exception required. The question may never have been asked, are you actually doing short-term renting? In which case you would not need the license or the special exception.
Yep. Right. So, I mean, just tell her the remedy. If she's not heard today and requests a refund, what would that be? And then, or you can go ahead and, you've already paid it, you want the short-term, the special exception.
Just in case,
We
but
can
you
do
may
it.
never short-term
I
rental.
will always have this as for medical staff people, yeah, no short-term.
I'm okay with this as a short-term rental. So if that was a motion, I'd vote yes, even though she may not need it.
Yeah, I
Because she
would
paid
too,
the
if she
money.
wanted it, right.
Spent the
I just wanted to know
afternoon
what the
with us.
remedy was.
Okay.
But if she doesn't want it and she wants her money back,
If we can give her her money back, I think we need to return it. She's been clear that she doesn't need anything less than 30 days, so.
Yeah, I certainly would be, I would be in favor of refunding her money if she really doesn't need
No, I
this,
don't.
this process. And there's clarification and clarity on that.
I forget what the fee is, but I mean, that's some really nice dinners.
$1,100.
You know, she's taken time from her,
Yeah.
from her work to come here, and so do we need to maybe continue this to allow some investigation to occur to determine what would be an appropriate remedy? Because again, if she doesn't really need this, then
Is it possible to get a refund?
We will look into that. But I would suggest probably, I think the easiest or best, cleanest thing to do would be just defer the item for 2 weeks. And then in the meantime, if we can withdraw, we'll bring it back to you as a withdrawal if needed and look into a refund and confirm it's not needed. And
But you're not, are you local?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I thought you weren't.
The other idea, if we do defer it and then it is required, instead of making the applicant, maybe put them towards the front of the agenda, or
Maybe you really like listening to all this.
yeah. Or as long as we note it, I mean, we can kind of discuss, I mean, for me, I was looking at quiet hours. Obviously, it would be a 1 year. And then the number of vehicles. If we know that in advance, we can do that without the applicant being here present, right? So do you want to discuss these items real quick so
Yeah.
we can notate that?
So what I would like to see added to the application, if you do come back, is that we change the quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. and then the maximum number of vehicles to be just 4 and no on-street parking.
Okay.
And so what I would suggest, you have 3 bedrooms.
Yes.
Take 6 guests.
Just cause.
You don't have to use 6 guests. You can just do the 1 per room, but I mean, I would take the 6 guests on that. How many cars can fit in the driveway?
Our garage.
2-car garage, so 2 in the driveway and 2 in
Yes.
the garage, so 4 car. And then no on-street parking.
No, okay.
So,
And each room will have a lock on their door, so then that way they have their privacy. The nurses or the medical staff will have their privacy, so nobody can get into their room, but they will have the common area of the dining room, living room, den, the kitchen, laundry room.
okay. So I say that I make a proposal that we keep that in case, so that way the applicant doesn't have to take off work to come back and listen to the exciting happenings here at the Board of Adjustment.
And then we'll just defer the case.
Yeah. So I will make a motion to defer case number 16253 to the June 18th meeting. We don't have it, June 2nd, right? Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
June 18th. I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to continue this one. Cast your votes.
Okay, so just to be clear, I need to be back on June 18th.
If you want to come back, if you come back, it's because we decided that you do need it. I've made notes of the things we'll modify.
Okay.
But I'm not going to require your presence just based off the situation that we're in.
Okay. All right. And I am approved, so
We deferred it.
Oh, you're
Deferred it, okay.
Deferred it, yeah.
June 18th.
But you do not need us to, if you have a nurse that wants to rent it out for 3 months, you do not need to wait till that meeting or come back. You
Oh, okay.
do that right now.
That's what I needed
Yeah.
to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I appreciate it.
But I think the staff will be in contact with you to determine whether or not it's necessary, and if it's not necessary, whether or not we can get you a refund.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Okay, let's
Okay,
go
we're back to item number 16. Case number 16244 is an application by William Burleson of A Real Home Away to allow home sharing, 15905 Sky Run Drive.
William Burleson applying for renewal for the special exception for 15905 Skyrun Drive on behalf of A Real Home Away.
Nobody signed up, nobody's here.
We'll just go over the application. This is a timely renewal. It is a 3-bedroom home.
Yes, sir.
Like to reduce the guests to 7.
Okay.
Quiet hours show 9 p.m. to 8 a.m. The special exception, you're asking for 3 years, and I'd like to add the number of vehicles to be 2 in the garage and 2 in the drive.
Okay.
Parking on street?
With no on-street parking.
Anything else? All right, I'll make a motion then to approve case number 16244 for the purpose that it meets the statutory requirements for the special exceptions with the following modifications. This will be for a term of 3 years. Maximum number of people reduced down to 7. 4-car maximum, 2 in the garage, 2 in the driveway, no on-street parking. Have quiet hours.
9 p.m. to 8 a.m. is listed.
Quiet hours from 9 p.m. to 8 a.m.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Cast your votes. There you go. You're approved.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Item number 18 and 19 were continued, and number 20 was continued, and number 21 was withdrawn, so we're at the end of our docket.
Okay, I don't have any additional items. We don't have any board committees. Does anybody want to say anything? Chris? No? Citizens to be heard? I don't have any other business.
I just have one quick thing is, should we ask the city council, I know right now the minimum we can do is 1 year, but I'm just wondering for cases like the one that just got denied as a way for them to correct, if we give them items and they correct and give them 2 months to operate and show that they can do better, I'm just wondering if there's something in the middle that we can provide for people who are trying to get a renewal and trying to make it right. But I realize that's going to be a city council, but that's just a suggestion I just kind of want to put on the record.
I don't think that's addressed in the ordinance, so I don't know. I think you're right. City council needs to, it's easy for me to say what city council needs to do. Okay, now I think we're adjourned.